I think I'm live. Yes. Hello, hello. Okay. It's been half a year since I last did a live stream, so I'm a little bit nervous for some reason. Um, Today I want to start one of the first drawings of a challenge that I have wanting to participate in here for September, and I am super late. I know, it's ridiculous. And if I wait one more day, it will just be never done. So let me just tell you everything that I know so far about this challenge because I really think that it suits me well. It's September, like a monthly challenge, but you only have to enroll your prompt every second day. So it's not as scary as the Inktober, where there is like a daily prompt and suddenly life interferes, and it's just too much to do 30 or 31 drawings. So, what spoke to me about this Thrifty Cheap Art Challenge are several things. First of all, it's only 15 prompts, so you got 2 days for each prompt, which made me lean back in the couch thinking like I got I got every time in the world. I can do this. And now today it's suddenly is it like the 11th of September and I am already far behind. I'm 5 prompts behind already. So it's not as casual as I thought it was gonna be. But the other fun thing is that the thrifty apprentice he is using, he call it cheap art supplies, and I really love his concept. His concept is, I think this is me just guessing. I think he might has been creating this challenge because he want to show the rest of the world that sometimes you don't need the most expensive toys to create art if you just are arting in a sketchbook or doing it for fun. So you can use very inexpensive supplies to get a good result. So I really like his take on that because I got a lot of novelty student grade watercolor palette. So I was thinking, oh my God, I can get a different palette for all the 15 prompts because I think I have 15 student grade watercolor palette. The thrifty apprentice is mostly a watercolorist, so I assume that he is hoping to see us create a lot of watercolor drawings, which is up my alley. He likes to work on inexpensive paper also, so he's very mindful when he is choosing his things. So I chose this book that I got from Amazon, and it was, I will say, inexpensive. I mean, you get a heaps load of paper. There are like what 5 inserts in this one here at a very fair price, and it is, I want to say faux. I hope it's faux leather bound, but if it's not, it's goat bound. I mean, it's not like the most fancy leather. I think it's like, what the heck? It could even be like the skin of a monkey. I don't know. It's cheaply made. So I think I can make my thrifty cheap art challenge in this sketchbook here using this paper because that would be, nice. And then I pulled out a lot of watercolor palettes that I think I want to use for this challenge. And I wrote down all the prompts. And I want to start by just flipping through the 15 palettes that I picked out. And oh my God, I thought that I had like a huge collection of watercolors, but turns out that I actually had to scrape a lot to find 15 novelty palettes. So maybe that is exactly what I have, like 15, 16 with this one here. This is something that I'm gonna add on the side. It's shimmery paint from Paul Rubens, and I think I want to have this as an add-on in case that I want something shimmery to my drawing. Doesn't it just look like jewelry? I mean, ugh, how do you not want to paint when you see a palette like this? It is so cool. Okay, here we go. I got praying watercolors, and it's a very a well-loved palette. So I think I at least can make a drawing with these limited colors here. There should be enough for making a drawing. And then this is my last and latest edition. It's Mi Liang. I bought it in December last year or January. I wrote 2025 on it, so maybe it arrived in January this year. So this is my last edition, and I say that with a smile because I have not yet in 2025 bought more than this one. And you might think, well, how is that an achievement at all? Well, it is because I've been tempted throughout the year of a lot of brands and a lot of palettes that I have seen people unbox and yada yada. But I promised myself that I will try not to buy any watercolor this year. So this is my last edition, and I really like the Mi Liang. I know they're student grade, but there's just something really likable about them. And I bought this one because my other Mi Liang palette is well used and down to a hit pan on several colors. So I felt that I wanted to replace it because it's such a cool paint. Then this, I don't even know what's. I know it's Paul Rubin that I ended up putting in this palette here. It's like a Frankenstein. I bought it in something that could be the same as a dollar store here in Denmark, Søsterne Grene, and it was very, very bad paint that was in this palette here. So I scraped it all out and then I refilled it with Paul Rubens tubes. So I know this is okay. And then I just painted a little bit with it and then forgot all about it. I have to be honest. I actually forgot about this palette here. This one is my outdoor sketching box. Love it a ton. It came with another kind of watercolor inside here, something called Artistro. But I MacGyvered it into something that I can bring with me outdoor, and I put in Van Gogh. I really love Van Gogh, even though it's student grade. I just think that it's a very very nice paint, and it's so good to blend with each other. So you get excellent mixes with the Van Gogh. And I know nothing about pigments in Van Gogh or whatnot, but I feel that the pigments are fewer and clear. So my mixes is always nice when I use Van Gogh. But oh my god, opening up this box here made me recall another. Okay, I think I lied. I think I maybe have two more student grade sets. Oh my god, how could I forget this one? It's so humongous. Art and Fly. Yes, yes, yes. This is what was inside that Artistro box. How could I forget this set? Okay, I'm definitely going to include this set in this challenge because I really like this big mixing tray here. When I bought this set here, I thought that it was similar to the koi watercolors. I never tried the koi watercolors, so I don't know if it's true, but they seemed so small, these pans. So I had this crazy idea that I could use up this quickly and then I could fill it in with some of my most loved tube watercolors because I really like this butcher mixing tray that was like super popular at one point where people bought butcher's trays to mix on. But as you can see, it is super durable paint. You don't need a lot. So I think maybe I will even take this with me into the grave. I don't know. It's just impossible to use up. Yeah, maybe the key is that all supplies last a lifetime because you don't use it, right? So maybe that's the oddity of that palette right there. Okay, next palette. This is not the woodlands that's inside of this. This is Royal and Langlegal, and it was a set that came in huge wooden container with drawers where there was like three drawers in it where it was tube paint and it was like acrylic oil and watercolor and then this plastic palette where these were tucked in. And I mostly bought it because I liked the case, the wooden tray case, because I'm using that to store my oil pastels in. So you could say that these pants here were sort of a spillover of that purchase because I didn't get the whole item for just these colors. So I very quickly just sort of ignored these pants for eons. Okay, this is totally student grade. It's Winter in Newton, and it's a travel kit that came on sale, and it was super inexpensive. I went out and got it, and then I came home, and then I realized, okay, the reason why it was so inexpensive is also because it was Cotman and not the professional grade Winsor Newton that was inside. So I included this, but I kind of want to take it out because this is Daniel Smith, and one of these are Sennelier. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this one here. Yeah, you know what? I think I should take this out of the whole pile because there are some Daniel Smith and Sennelier in this one. So to keep it like completely real to the challenge, I will only use what the thrifty apprentice called cheap art supplies. This is squash very inexpensively. Like I don't even remember the brand name. It's from Amazon, and it's one of those very inexpensive tube sets that I don't even recall the price. Yeah, but what I did was that I mixed in some glycerin while I was squeezing it out in the pans. So this was sort of an experiment to see, is it true when you mix in glycerin with your squeezed out gouache that it will crackle less when it dries up? And in my case, yes, I do have crackles, but OMG, it could be lots worse than this. It could be like crumbles, you know? So, yeah, and then for some reason I forgot all about this palette. The tin itself is from Dina Wakely's scribble sticks, so I just reused the tin. And then I have this palette here. It's a fan out palette that definitely meets the requirement of cheap art supplies. Oh, it cracked a little bit. I have not unfolded this for such a long time. And this is also why I want to enroll the art challenge because it make me dig into my old palettes and revisit them once more. This is 52 watercolors from Pencil March. I think this is maybe a white label German name because I feel that I've seen this on YouTube from other people where it is a different company that are manufacturing it for sale in the US, for instance. So maybe this March is just the German brand name. But oh my God, look how they're curling up. Yeah, that's why it's always nerve-wracking to opening up this because you never know what's gonna crumble out and to squeeze it back together again. Ooh, okay, now I could do it. Sometimes I hear a lot of crackling, like like I'm squeezing the heck out of the paint, so it's not so good. This Pelican palette here, I really love it a lot. It is what I think could be a good competitor to gouache, actually. It's sold as watercolor, but it is actually, if you have, I used it up, but it came with a tube of, they call it deck white, but it's actually just white gouache. When you mix that tube, I got a little bit left up here in the lid, if you can see it. Maybe the light is glaring it out. but you squeeze out $1 in the lid and then you start mixing, and then you can get the most fantastic colors out of this set here. It's very cool, and for some reason it's fun to play with because it's like you get the both worlds. Like you get good pigmented watercolor, and then you can easily switch it over to something super opaque like gouache. So I've really enjoyed this palette. It's a fun toy, and it's inexpensive. I don't think that it's called Pelican when it's sold overseas. Hi, Helle. Welcome to my desk. Hej, hej. Hvor er det godt, du kom. Jeg sad her helt alene. I'm sorry, Helle. I need to speak in English, even though it sounds so stupid because we're both from Denmark. Um, yeah, but won't you agree with me that Pelican is like a Danish brand? But then when you see these palettes, this style overseas, I think they are picked up by the company called Grumbacher. So maybe you have a Grumbacher palette similar to this. Okay, this here is something that my sweet hubby he painted for me with a spray can. Didn't it turn out just perfect? I love it. I love it. And then I gave it like a coat of lacquer to protect it. So let me just open it up. What it is the I bought a kit called from Pagos, and I'm calling it a kit because it came with paper, brushes, pens, did eraser. It came with some stuff, and then it came with a palette, and it's good. It's okay watercolor. I actually like it a lot. I like it better than I like the Mungia ones. So it's very difficult for me to put a brand name on this, but it's something that I recognize in other sets. So I think it's a very used white label brand. So yeah, it's super nice. I like it a lot, but it definitely meets the requirement of inexpensive watercolors because I don't know what I paid for that kit, but it felt like it was like nothing, compared to back then I would pay the same amount just to get an empty metal tin alone. So sometimes you can find a big deal when you're buying kits because you actually get metal tins. This needs no further introduction. This is my go-to brand in many, many cases. I am really fond of playing with Paul Rubens, and I got a tube set squeezed in. First, I had this original 24 pan set, and then I ran out of a lot of colors and hit pan, so I bought a tube set where I could sort of figure out that a lot of the colors could be used as refill for that palette that I originally got, and the extra colors I just put in the middle row here. So, but it's all Paul Rubens, and it has been refilled a couple of times, so that's why it looks really strange. But I really love this paint. Yeah, I think that was a good introduction of the different colors. Now I've got my hands on Paul Rubens. I want to start out with Paul Rubens because that's a trusty good old friend. Or should I start out with this humongous? Okay, I'm gonna start out with this humongous, super, super neglected palette. Oh my god, I don't even know for how long that I've had that palette, but it definitely is neglected, that's for sure. So let me stack back on in my little container here what I just took out. So the plan is that I am already 5 drawings behind on that September challenge that I really was looking forward to enroll in. Yeah, I have no excuse for that. So the plan is that today I am making a live video also to keep me accountable. It's like when you're going on a diet. As soon as you tell people, "Oh, I'm on a diet," then it's out there. You said it. Now you have to deal with it. The same with these challenges for me. As soon as I speak out loud that I'm doing this challenge, then it's you know you have to finish it off. Then I feel like yeah, that's a I don't even know what word I'm looking for. um like I said, this shimmery palette here is just gonna be add-ons to whatever I have picked, because I really like that addition of something shimmery in my paintings. So yeah, but let's take a look at the prompts. It is a challenge with 15 prompts, and tomorrow, the 12th of September, the prompt is arch. So I'm settling myself for, if I could make 5 prompts within the next 48 hours, I would sort of have kept up. So we got stone, shell, keys, balloon, and suitcase. That's what I'm going to focus on. And for stone, I was thinking, you know what? I so want to do like a galaxy and then draw the 31 Atlas comet, because it's just, I sort of am a bit intrigued in what's going on with that comet. And I think it's so exciting that it comes from another part of the universe. So it's like a building brick that comes from outside our own solar system, and it could carry some new stuff. So that part of it is exciting. What's also exciting is all the conspiracy with UFO, where so many people get lit up with the idea that it could actually be an alien invasion sneaking in behind the sun, so we cannot see it. So it could be a craft. Like, so it's fun for me to just watch several posts on YouTube about the 31 Atlas, but I honestly feel it's a comet. It's a comet, guys. It's a stone, but it's in my news feed, so I think it's appropriate to start up the art challenge where the prompt is stone with a galaxy sky. And then I think what I want to do is that I want to draw the comet here, and then I want to sort of leave some brighter colors where I can journal on the top of it with a black pen, where I'm writing that this is the first prompt and what I actually drew. Because sometimes I draw something and I cannot see what is it. And it's going to be maybe the case with this comet, that I'm going to do a galaxy sky with a turd in the center, and I'm months from now thinking, what is that? So I think I sort of need a little journal spot to go along with my drawing. I also sort of need some paper for the back here, so that I don't mess up my book. So I'm a little bit unprepared. Let me just grab some blank paper to put on the back here. Oh, I got some scrap paper here that I may use. But yeah, I'm not participating in the Inktober. Ink is not really my go-to media, but I do like a good challenge, and I sort of did not do the watercolor month this year because life interfered. So I kind of feel that if I don't do this challenge here, then I spent the whole year without enrolling any sort of challenge, which is, I like a challenge. So I feel that this is like the last chance I got for enrolling a challenge that's really up my alley, when it's all centered and focused on watercolor, and not only watercolor, but the inexpensive novelty sets that I tend to collect and love so much. And I know I just showed you my ridiculous collection of inexpensive watercolors, and you might think, girl, how many colors do you need? I mean, am I planning on becoming like 400 years old? To my defense, I want to say that I think I am a collector. Like, don't they say like one is a single, two is a pair, three is a collection? I am definitely having a collection. Sorry was away. My daughter called on my phone and I looked at you on it. Oh, it's okay. I think I'm gonna be here for a while because I'm so far behind with all those prompts. So you don't need a lot of watercolor pens to become a watercolorist. You actually just need a couple of tubes, and then you can mix your way into a fantasy range of colors. But I kind of like those convenient pans that are already mixed for you, so you can just dip and go. And a good example of that is the Artistro 72 pan set. This one here, oh, it's not Artistro, it's Art and Fly. Sorry, 72. I mean, it's like everything your heart desire. What's fun about this palette here is that we got a range of fluorescent high chroma colors, and then we got a couple of shimmer, like a white and a gold. And then we got your rainbow selection of colors, where there are some like a screaming opera pink, for instance. That's very likable. This one here. So there are some colors that I think are likable in this set here. Okay, while I'm sitting here yapping, I'm sort of thinking, how did we start these galaxy paintings? Did we start them with the darkest or the brightest color first? I think I want to start it with the brightest color first, because then I can make sure that I get a very bright journal spot right here where I want it. So now I said pink. I want to use this pink here. Oh my god, I should use these fluorescent. I remember when I bought this palette here, I was into Art by Mylene, and she uses fluorescent colors in her illustrations. So it really spoke to me that this palette here came with fluorescent colors, because some of the other novelty palette that I was looking at that time era did not have um, more than one or two fluorescent, and it was typical the reflex yellow and then maybe an orange. But this one had a range of two, like a pink leaning orange, pink, lilac, and blue. So that was new. So it's funny how I can remember some of my ideas for buying each color palette. Like, does it matter? I don't know. But it's just I sort of can recall what intrigued me in every single palette, and sometimes also who enabled me, where I saw it the first time. And sometimes it's horrible to be in Europe, because you see a lot of unboxing on YouTube where Amazon.com get the item first, and then sometimes it takes 4 months before it appears on the Amazon in Europe, any country, like if it's UK or France or Germany, it can take like 4 months. And you're just anticipating in those 4 months if it's gonna show up or not. And I think it's because some of the items are going through a quality control. So I have noticed that there are several brands that will never be accepted as legal to sell in EU because they are not meeting requirements of safety or stuff. One of them is the supervision super granulating paint, and I later found out that you can find a concentration of lead um, in some of the pans. So I should be happy that I live in a section of the world where they kind of stop me from buying these things because they contain hazardous residue of something that's dangerous. Because I do have a cat that jumps up on my table, and for the most time, I really try to put a lid on my, my rinsing water so she don't drink from it. But oh well, if it slips, it happens. So I should be grateful for that, but there are several times where I was just like, "Oh no, I just want it." There's just something that I just want. The want monster is screaming. So if it wasn't for all the quality control, I think I would have had a much larger collection of watercolor palettes. It would include a lot of the Asian brands and also Chinese made inexpensive watercolor pans, which there are so many of. There's just when I sometimes browse on AliExpress and just look at the selection, I'm like, oh my god, it costs like nothing. Like it's just so inexpensive. Okay, maybe I should try and get some purple colors into this also. Okay, my camera is not picking up how crazy this looks. This is like really fluorescent colors. So they are like in my face, but I can see on the monitor that you get a very pushed back look. You cannot see the fluorescent craziness that I can see on the paper. But I hope it's gonna look super awesome on a galaxy sky when these strong, strong colors are peeking through. Let's see. I don't want to use the green. I think I should just keep it these 4 or 5 fluorescent colors and then gradually add in Prussian blue, indigo. What could we have here? Maybe more of the. I want this to be the bright journaling spot, so maybe I should just hit it with this screaming yellow. And all these fluorescent colors also convince, it becomes like a big argument for my want monster, because we all know that you cannot mix your way to a fluorescent color with the generic basic six primary colors, right? so, so whenever I have craved a watercolor set, one of the first sales argument for me from my want monster inside is that you actually cannot mix that color yourself, so you might as well just invest in this palette. So I also have other watercolor palettes that are artist grade, but they are not a part of this art challenge here. So I don't only use these inexpensive watercolors. Oh, that's so lovely. Was it this one or that one? Okay, I'm gonna make myself a corner up here of. Oh, the camera isn't even picking it up. Okay, it's like orange with a tint of, I want to say peach. It's like they mixed a little bit the reddish tone into a very fluorescent yellow. So it's super, super nice. Okay, I'm gonna be a pig with the. Okay, maybe I should change up to this one here. Yeah, but it's very small pans. So I have to confess, I lately painted a lot with my engrams that I have in big full pan palette. So it's kind of weird for me to sit and dig into this. Feels like half pan size pan. But it's okay. Okay, let me try and get some of the blue next to that one. Maybe I should have picked purple. Yeah, okay, now comes the part that I sort of forgot how to do this. It's been so long since I made a galaxy sky. But I feel that what people do is that they mist this with a mister, and then they come in with a very juicy brush of something dark to cover up this sky here. So I'm thinking that maybe I need to give myself a super juicy puddle of that coverage. So I got this palette right here. I think I can make myself. Now I have to pick up a color. Kind of like that one in the end here. It's this one here. Okay, I'm zoning in. I'm taking that color, and then if I need to do it darker, I can put in black from this palette here. So I'm just gonna work up a nice saturated puddle of it in this palette here. Just so I don't run out. There's nothing more annoying if you're painting wet and wet. If you run out of your color, you have to sit and scoop it out. Okay, now everybody is thinking, how much does she actually need of this? Maybe we're getting there. Okay, spray. I hope this paper will take the abuse and not start to curl up on me. Let's try this first. Okay, it's not really feathering out. I was hoping for it to feather out. Let me just test it here on the corner. Okay, I can get it to feather out a little bit. I guess we're just gonna deposit and then spray and then wiggle our journal back and forth to get some sort of texture looking like no human hand was depositing this pigment, but it just happened in randomness. I got this spine right here, and I bet you if I oversaturate that area, I will hate life because then it would go through the whole signature of paper. So I should have like a piece of tissue ready on the side to pick up if I get like a ferocious puddle. Okay, you may think now like, what about the stone? The whole prompt is a stone. I'm thinking to negative paint around this area up here, and that can be like the shape of the asteroid. So I'm not dependent on have to follow sketch lines. Oh my god, this is a mess. I'm just gonna tap my book. I can get some, maybe missed it a little bit. I want the randomness of, yeah, just random, so it doesn't look like I as a human deposit the color, if you know what I mean. Because I cannot myself do a glaze that looks like this, but the water tension can carry the pigment like that. So that's why I want to tap it. I noticed how much I used of my puddle for just that page there, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit more. Okay, the color of 31 Atlas. What is pondering a lot of people is that it does not have the usual reflection when it hits the light from our sun as other asteroids have had. So that's why the conspiracy theory have started about it could be a spaceship. And it also have the lack of a comet tail. Like, usually if a comet is made out of, let's just say ice, then when it's approaching our sun, which is like super hot, the ice starts to melt in such a speed that it doesn't become liquid. It goes directly from being ice to gas, like uh, like airborne, and that the airborneness gives it speed. So I was thinking maybe it contains a different matter, like for instance, if it contains nitrogen, it will not leave a tail necessarily, visual a tail, when nitrogen becomes airborne like a gas when it's passing the sun. So maybe that explains why it's an asteroid without a tail. But who knows? I just think it's very interesting to know that something from not our solar system is entering and passing by. I mean, that is so exciting. So, what I wanted to say with all that speech is that I don't want to paint a tail on my comet because I honestly don't think that there is a tail. And if there is a tail, it is not visible from Earth. So, yeah. Let me spray mist this. See if we can get. It is so wet. What what I'm thinking is also that did I really assume that I would be able to draw on the next page next to this? Because I need to do several prompts. It all depends on if this can actually dry up. Okay, now for the shape of the comet. I want to make it silver. I totally think that it's made. I think the lack of reflection in the sunlight is because it got a different surface than we're used to. So I think I want to take black, and this is going to be mixed with this shimmery white that I have. I got like a pearlescent white. So if I'm only supposed to use this palette here, I am OMG so lucky that I picked this palette in particular because it comes with some metallic paint. So I can say that this whole drawing is painted with the Arnold fly. So let me clean that brush really thoroughly so I don't contaminate this white one. I think I'm gonna let the water sit a little bit on the shimmer pan because it will help it release pigment. And then I can take a sip of my coffee. But yeah, so far I think I like what I see. Of course, it's gonna be pushed back when it dries. It all watercolor always look to me super mesmerizing and fantastic when it's wet, and then suddenly it dries up. And then what's sort of is the risk of using cheaper watercolors is that sometimes the inexpensive student grade dries up with a very visual color shift, leaving them looking a little bit pale, and not so potent as they were when they were wet. But it can also be because of the paper. So here where I'm using lesser paper, uh, I have no idea how this is gonna dry up. I think I want to clock in my heat gun. Oh my god, I almost forgot what we're calling this instrument here. You know, my heat gun. So if I need to heat set it, I can. I am really, I don't remember if this is one of those pages that's gonna curl up as soon as I start to heat set it. So okay, let's just let it dry as much as it can by its own. Okay, let's add the shimmer to this black and then hope that we get something that could look like metal or whatnot. As far as I know, I think I would call it like a funky cigar shape. And the shape of this asteroid is also why the UFO community has gone haywire, because they say it could be the shape of a spaceship, you know, because it's a long, slim shape they feel that's like super long. Oh, do I like that shape on my page? I think I want to make it a little bit chunkier like this. Oh no, look, I need to spread over 2 pages. I hate when I do that. You know, when I paint in journals and then when I'm painting need to overlap on the page next to it because it always looks out of proportion when you look at it. But let's just try the best. I don't see anything magical going on with the colors, so now I think I want to experiment a little bit. I'm gonna drop in the pearlescent color in the wet madness and also the black color. I'm gonna give it like a sheen over here and then some splotch. And then I'm gonna take my black and then, okay, that was not black black. I want like lamp black, you know, and paint the bottom shape down here. And then let watercolor do its thing where hopefully it's gonna mix in together. I see that the pearlescent is pushing the black, so it's kind of fun. And then I think I want to add something bluish in the center of it. I want to pick up a blue that I have not used for my galaxy skies. Maybe this one here. Just to make it odd. Like something else. I'm hoping to get nice texture when it dries up. And I think maybe I should make it like a little bit uneven because I do firmly believe that this is a rock. And I also believe that it got like deep craters in it. So when this has dried up a little bit, I think I'm gonna attach some dark circles I can just plot in one now and see how will the paper. I think if I plot in now, the paper is gonna whisk it out so much that it looks annoying. Maybe, okay, I could give it a try. Maybe if I used something that's mixed with the pearl, because I saw that the pearl is pushing the pigments like this. Okay, I feel I got an asteroid here with no tail. Oh, it is so wet. I should try and heat set it. I also can see that my galaxy sky is drying up lighter and lighter. Can you see that? So I think I should start adding in darker corners already now. Oh my god. The page is so wet that it's becoming flappy. Okay, that was that was nice. I think I'm gonna use some dark colors to frame in the page spread. And then I'm gonna mix in a little bit of a blue so I don't get like a lamp black dark. Just a smidgen. Now this is dark. But if I sort of start framing in, it might look as it's gonna finish off the, by finishing off the edges, it looks a little, it may look a little bit more finished, I hope. But I do still like some of the blurry skies that we have already. So I think I'm gonna be like a little bit sparingly with this. I also don't want to add too much water because the whole plan is to let this dry up so we can flip the page and work on the next prompt. I am so behind on this challenge here. And I'm so behind that I'm thinking like, if I don't start now, I'm not even sure that I'm gonna make it. And imagine procrastinating 30 days on a 30-day challenge. That would be like going over in history. I kind of like what I see here. So I wish it would dry up. I think I'm gonna heat set it. So hold on your ears because now I'm turning on my heat gun. Just a moment. Oh yes, it's starting to curl. Can you see that curl right there? I don't know if it's because I'm cooking the paper with the heat gun. So I think I'm gonna see if I can continue without completely heat set it. But man, it's very wet. Okay, now I'm gonna put in the stars. I want to use white ink for that instead of gouache. I'm just grabbing my ink. I got white ink from Winsor and Newton, and I have never tried to apply stars with the tip of a skewer before, so I'm just gonna test it out. And if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna do something else. Usually I use like a stiff brush and then I splatter a lot of stars, but you know what? I'm gonna mess up my whole work desk. So I think today I'm gonna make controlled addition of stars. Am I? Because by doing it so I don't get those far away misted stars. Okay, I'm gonna grab a very sturdy fan brush and see what I do. See what I do. I may need to do a compilation of um, some stars that I add on and then spray them on, like splatter them on. Let's see. I'm gonna start. My chain of thought was that I could dot in. Sometimes my Posca pen is weak. When it dries up, it looks like I could go and add another layer because it gets contaminated. So that's why I'm grabbing the ink because I kind of feel that it will dry up white. It's very rare that this ink here is getting contaminated. Okay, that looks so small. I'm gonna turn the tip over. Oops. This is super clumsy. I got a cat next to me that's really petting my arm. I think I'm just gonna pet her for 2 minutes because she wants to be pet. Just a second. Mm. Du er sød. Ja, du er. Du er sød. Sådan der. Yeah. There we go. Sometimes she just needs a little bit of attention and then she falls asleep. But she really likes to be pet a little bit before she falls asleep. You know what? This skewer is a mess, and I don't like the shape of the stars. I simply have to go messy and then do it the right way with a stiff brush, which is annoying me a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna switch this up. I'm gonna use gouache because you know what? Gouache is washable, so if I get a lot of random splatters that gets everywhere, at least I can clean it out afterwards, right? So give me a second, and then I'm just gonna open up my gouache palette in the back here. And maybe I should show the thing. I got the Hemi gouache, and it's 120 small cups. And let me see if I can show it. Oh my god, look at this explosion of nice colors. Doesn't it just look inspiring? Like, don't you just want to dig in and start painting when you got a selection like this? Yeah, that's how I feel about this palette. Even though it's humongous, but I love it. I'm gonna scoop out with a spatula just a glob of gouache. And then water it down. I think that's what sane people would do, right? So why don't I try to do that? And then back with these papers here. Hi, Rhonda. Oh, sorry, I didn't even notice that you came in. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for catching the replay when you can. That would be nice. Thank you for being here and saying hi. It's so cute of you. Okay, let's stop the splattering. Yeah, it's the best. I don't care what you say. This what works with Galaxy Sky. Why would I ever think differently, right? You get those fine mist. If I'm lucky, I can get some better mist in a second. I hate and I love the mess. You know what I mean? Okay, I think I'm gonna take like a very fine brush. Just gonna stick my finger into my rinsing water. I want to take like a brush zero, or maybe something that leaning towards a liner. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a liner brush, and then let's see if I can enhance some of these stars. Oh, I think the trick is to flicker in a hurry. I know you might think, why don't you just pick up your Posca? But my fine tip Posca is not really working at the moment. I think I clogged it up, or it's just finished. One of the two. Maybe we could have like a dim dim on the, on the asteroid itself. Is it too much? Okay, I'm gonna make it up here, like super close, so you're thinking that's not the asteroid. God, I guess that was too much. I'm gonna blot off as much as I can, so it's just a little bit more pushed back. For once, I hope that this dries up pushed back. This is nice. I think I can. I almost was thinking about this house is clean from. Oh my God, what was that movie? Poltergeist. This page is done. I think I finished the prompt right there, and then of course I need to journal something something, and I also need to yeah, let it dry before I can continue. I'm just gonna put the lid back on my gouache so it doesn't dry up on me. So I'm a little bit off camera. Yeah, this is done. I want to heat set it before I dare to flip the page and start up the next prompt. And I also forgot what the next prompt was. But before I do so, let's look at the palette that I used. It's Art and Fly 72 watercolors in this super super nice big palette, where what intrigued me buying this was this butcher's tray kind of looking lid, because back then when I bought it, it was a trend to paint with watercolor using a butcher's tray as a palette. So I could see myself, with big brushes and really splashing a lot of stuff here. But yeah, it was that. Okay, heat gun a little bit, not so much, just a little bit. Man, it's wet. Oh, because I used gouache, it may take a little while before that spot right there, for instance, want to dry up. But maybe I can just carefully check how much damage did I do to my insert here. I had a lot of color into the center of the book. So let me just see if I completely ruined the. It doesn't look like it. You know what? I think luck follows the fool, because it did not run through as much as I thought it would be. So kudos to this journal here. And by the way, it's a very inexpensive journal I found on Amazon. So because I am working with this challenge where it's called Cheap Art. Cheap Art 2025. The paper also need to be inexpensive. So kudos to this paper. It held up a lot of beating, and you guys saw how much water I poured on this poor page here. And then I cooked it with a heat gun, and it sort of still somehow lies flat. So if this was a review of this paper, I would definitely consider the price and then give it a thumbs up. Okay, that was the first prompt. I am really happy. Let me see. 1 hour. Oh my god, I'm behind 4 prompts. So maybe I hope I can do the prompts a little faster, so I won't be sitting here streaming for an additional 4 hours more. The next prompt is shell. Uh, a shell. Hmm. I am thinking. Um. Okay, guys. I think I wanna go fetch a prompt. Oh, like not a prompt. What is it called? Like a thingy, so I can like sort of sketch from a real thing instead of just a picture. So I will be off 2 minutes fetching a shell that I got in my collection. Just a minute. And I am back. Guys, look at this. Isn't it crazy that something in nature has been building this and living inside of it? And then the snail itself is so soft, and then it's able to build something that's so ceramic, like porcelain. I mean, it's amazing. I think it counts like a shell. Okay, Helle. Yep. Du må have en god aftensmad. Nice dinner. And thank you so much for showing up, Helle. Tak fordi du kom. Du må have en god aften. Hej. Okay, so I think I will use this as a prop. Is it called that? And what palette should that be? I wish that I had uh, an option to pick a granular color because that could like really be awesome. But I don't actually think that any of my inexpensive novelty palettes got like psycho granular effect in unless I mix in an ultramarine. So what I also want to do is I want to shift my rinsing jar. It became a little bit too murky for me, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. I am back. I'm still pondering about what palette to pick. Okay, let me look in my stash here. Of course, this have interest. I don't recall the Pegasus to be. It's more like a flat paint. I think looking for some sort of texture. The ultramarine in this Paul Rubin tube set is crazy granular as far as I remember. So maybe I can get some texture by using that ultramarine. And I also have a range of sepia and some of the colors here. Now the question is, from which angle should I paint this shell? Because it's very interesting when I'm sorry, when you flip it over like this, you can get that arch, you know? So I think I'm gonna try and sketch it from when it's lying up open like this instead of like that. Yeah, I think that's likable. We are talking about cheap art, like a thrifty challenge. So my pick of pencils is going to be Fantasia. I think it's mostly a European known brand, but it's very inexpensive. Yeah, it's just super inexpensive. And this is watercolor pencils, so if I regret some of the line work, I can hopefully erase it with a wet brush. So my pick will be these Fantasia inexpensive watercolor pencils for my sketching. Okay, now I'm just testing if I can flip the page or if these dollops of gouache is somewhat dried up. I'm just gonna heat set it 1 more minute. Yeah, that has to do. Now I feel that I can securely flip the page on this one and start sketching, because if the paper is too moist, the pencil would probably poke through the paper. So now I feel that it's strong enough to receive some pencil line work. I could be smart and skip that page and then work on every other page. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna skip and then return to that other page. Um, I like the double spread for some reason. I just like space, you know. I don't like small pages. So okay, let's see. I think this angle here was interesting. It's gonna be standing up for me. You're gonna view this from the top because of the camera. So my sketch is not probably gonna be what you are seeing. So it's just gonna be a little bit different like that. And I'm gonna try and do a double spread because I don't know. That's how I roll in these small books. These books are so small. So first I would just try and do the shape of it roughly. And then it curves up like this. So it have like a structure that's cylinder shaped. It's actually very detailed now where I look at it. So I will try and get most of it. And then we have like a rounded arch here that is so beautiful. And then this shape in here is continuing into a curve that just disappears into the center of the shell. Okay, that's like roughly the shape of what I can see. And then of course it's created in a spiral. So I will try and make some spiral line work to illustrate it more. It's not going to be a one-to-one like oh my god, did you just take a picture of it and put it in your sketchbook, because I am not a realistic painter. I am too clumsy for being that. So don't get your hopes up too high. It's like it got a sort of division right here. It's kind of funny. Can you see that? Like it had a new life coming. Maybe this was 1 year. Like this layer here is just one growth, but it had the a smaller shaped ones. Oh my god, when does this one stop? Stops right there. Maybe could it be that it grows like this in one season? And I don't know if one season for this snail is a year, but let's say it is. Then it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this should be 7 years old. That's kind of crazy. until hopefully it died a natural death and not because some tourist on on a beach picked it up and killed it to take it home as a souvenir. I would hate that. Humans are like that, you know. But it's kind of nice, neat to know that it got like these that division. So I would know that here I need another split in the texture. Like that was 1 year. And then I'm gonna add in for fun a split right here. So we have like three splits. And it's just a rule of three. Like, I don't know who invented that rule, but something about the rule of three. And then it have like some sort of spikes on it. It's very beautiful actually. When you start sketching things, I think you're shaping your eyes to look at all the details, and then you start realizing how detailed some of the shapes from nature is. So, as much as I love to make faces and portrait, and if you are a member of my Patreon, you know what I'm talking about. I always end up painting a face, right? I find it, the older I get, more and more interesting to depict stuff from the garden and nature. Okay, I totally ignored the shape of this arch up here. It's like it's not like super round. It's almost got like some curvy lines. And then this mark making here. But let's see. Oh, hi, Teresa. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, welcome to my stream. How am I? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm okay today. Uh, Life has changed in a lot of ways, but today is a good day. So, and I noticed that it's been like 6 months since I last had a live stream, so I thought I would turn on the camera. I was a little bit nervous doing so because it's been 6 months, you know, but yeah, just sometimes we just have to bite the bullet and then do it. Uh, got these maybe these curved line work can help me illustrate that it's continuing inside its own hollowness here. So maybe if I worked a little bit, this is just me adding these, taking the liberty to add these curved lines. I'm thinking out loud here. So, but how are you doing, Teresa? I hope you're okay and doing fine. You and Blue. Down here, I should have like a different color to illustrate that it's dark. But maybe I could actually give myself some curved line work going this way to illustrate that it's hollow. So I'm gonna do that, even though it's not really on the shell. I know most of my sketch lines is not really showing up on camera, but it's just the helping guiding lines. So hopefully I will come in and make it more visual with some watercolor. Yeah, it probably moved into a bigger home. I hope that. I see sometimes on YouTube there is this person who buy the plastic shells from the dollar store, and then he spread them out on beaches to give crabs and snails and whatnot a luxury home. And I think it's so cute because some of the small crabs are so fast in deciding their home. So he just you know pulls out or pour out this pile of shells, spread them a little bit, and then you can see these tiny crabs trying out different kind of shapes until they figure out like this is the one, and then they just rush away like they stole it, you know. Just running away in their new house. And I think it's so funny to watch. Okay, I think I have enough sketch lines now. Now the trick is not to move this too much for me because it sort of matches what I can see, but I know for you it's a little bit it's from top view. I think once again, because I'm a big pig, I want to spray mist the whole area. I don't know what's up with me and the misting thing. And then I would kind of work on the background a little bit. And I would like to, should we go like super monochromatic and then just have a mix of a blue with some raw sienna in it? I think that would be a nice vibe, not to make it so artificial. So if I take, that is the most annoying mixing palette that this one have. Okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna force it to work. I'm gonna pick a little bit of raw sienna and then a blue color that I like, just a likable blue. Uh, Maybe this one here. And what I will get is like this grayish tone. But I'm thinking in my head that it could transition into a natural shading color down here because I just mix in more of the raw sienna. So what I'm gonna do is to just work on the background first. And then use a lot of water to just dilute it out. It's gonna be nice. Hi Lars, jeg er live streamer. So yeah, it was my hobby. I just had to warn him that I'm live streaming. Oh, love, love, love that granulation. Can you see I got like granulation going on? I have no idea if it comes from the blue or the raw sienna. It's been a while since I've used this palette here. I'm just gonna embrace that granulation. But I kind of feel that I should have like very natural colors in this painting right here, so it will look like really nice. So if I'm lucky, maybe it was the raw sienna that's granular. Some earth tones are like burnt sienna, and not so much the blue is the granular component. Then maybe I could get some sort of texture on this anyway. Okay, I'm gonna choose to have like a soft line here and then a hard edge there and a hard edge, of course, on the arch. So I'm gonna just soften up what's below this shell. Okay, now I can come in with more of the raw sienna in my mix and hopefully get a gradation that's gonna lean darker. Something like this. is for the shadow part, right? Okay, because I got like overhead lighting, this one is casting a lot of shades. So I'm just gonna mimic those shades in my sketchbook. And then this is like a round shape. To get that strong enough, I'm just gonna mix a more milkier consistent, still just using the two colors. Okay, I like that. And now I'm gonna go back to that the background color we had up there, and it has less of the raw sienna in the mix. So I'm just gonna sparingly try and mix that one more time and just have it in the outer edge here. If I'm fast, I can get it. There we go. And then raw sienna on the rest. So with just two colors, you can get like a fun mix of just two colors. I really like to watercolor like this. It's not because I want to be oh, limited palette, only use one color. It's nothing to do with that. I just like the playing look of how a color starts off in one tone and then transition into a different tone. And mixing on the paper give me that journey, like how it ventured from being one tone into the next, and I find that very likable. But I do know that I could go in and darken up the shadows, but this is like the first wash, so I'm not gonna irritate it more than this. Okay, it needs to calm down before I can add more. If I start painting the shell itself, my colors may bloom into the background. So if it was just me, I would let this rest up and dry by itself, so I get more mixes on the paper. But because I'm streaming and I really don't want us to sit and watch paint dry, I'm gonna heat set it. Okay, so hold your ears. I'm gonna turn on my heat gun. Yeah, it's not like completely dry, but it's dry enough so that my next water will not run into it. Okay, I have a plan about glazing. I want to wet the whole shape and then do a first layer glaze where I'm just plotting in color to make it as soft as possible. This shell, if I just squint my eyes and look at it, it will read white, but I cannot just have a white shell. I need to work in some tones to this one. And I'm glazing very lightly because remember I sketched with a watercolor pencil? Yeah. So no scrubbing the paper unnecessarily much because otherwise I will erase my line work. So it's just lightly glazed, moist right now. And then I think I want to clean up this mess down here. Yeah, it's like the tiniest mixing palette that I got here. But I'm determined to use the palette it came in. So wet paper, splotches of color, just dropping in, should in theory give me a very light coat, you could say, of color. Man, it dries up fast. This is really likable. It's fun to paint something that's like irregular in its shape. So it basically means that making a mistake is almost impossible. Like it's so irregular in its pattern that you can't really go wrong. I'm making the marks darker and darker coming down here. I think that was a good call, so maybe I should try, and just some of them are a little bit darker than others, but they're like so light up here. Okay, and remember that this area here is hollow, so I think I'm gonna use the raw sienna to kind of sketch out that hollow area. I'm just starting the illusion of it here. Yeah, that's nice. And then we have the back of the shell here. And it's just lying down towards the table. So I think I'm gonna use the raw sienna to drag a darker. There. Yeah, I like that. It could actually be a little bit smidgen darker. So I'm just gonna take the blue that we used for the background and mix up that little bit darker. Yeah, I like this. It's gonna be a nice shell when it's done, I hope. Maybe we could have a little smidgen of that mix, with the blue inside down here, if I can put it in without making a horrible bloom. Yeah, I think I was lucky there. Okay, this should dry up. So I need to address this curve. This is a curve. Could have a little bit of that darker. Okay, we're gonna let this dry up and see what we get. Maybe it could actually have like a dark misted color below every line that the shell has created each time it expanded itself. Where was it? Was right down here. We had line 3. There. Okay, I'm gonna sit and let it play a little bit before I hit it with a heat set gun. Yeah, this is definitely one of those drawings that if you had the time, it could be with granular paint on a very rough paper, so you really could get some grungy texture because there are like grungy texture on the shell itself. So it's not all white. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna let it sit for just a minute, and then I think I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm using the heat gun. Okay, now I need to make it shiny. So I'm thinking maybe I should add the shimmer first so I know that's gonna be my highlight areas. So I'm grabbing the Paul Rubens palette here. I'm looking at that color up there. I'm just gonna put water in some of the pan. I'm not taking any chance. I'm just putting water in some of the colors that I hope maybe I could use to make it shiny. And then I'm thinking, should I add like okay, I'm picking up an ochre. I'm just gonna use this palette right here. I'm picking up an ochre from the fan palette and see if I can give myself a glaze like this one here. Got this shape and then it's coming upwards and then it's going down again. Because there are some sort of raised profile on this shell that I want to enhance a little bit with this ochre color. Like, oh, right here, maybe. It's going a little bit downwards again. So first I'm just plotting in the ochre where I feel it could be. And right here it also have like some sort of a lip. Yeah, and basically all of this is okay, and then I can come in with a damp brush and then disperse it a little bit, spread it out a little bit. Um, and strengthen it up. In other places. Yeah, it's looking more and more shell-ish. Maybe areas like the tip of this edge could contain some of the ochre. very interesting to paint something like an object lying in front of you instead of a reference picture. Sometimes I feel that I paint too much from one dimensional reference pictures from my screen. So it's kind of fun to change things up a little bit and paint a real item lying in front of me. Hi, Devon. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Devon. You're welcome. I hope you have a nice trip and drive safely. Okay, now the water has probably primed the pans here, so I'm gonna take like a thick layer of this shimmery white. Okay, now I'm just gonna focus on the highlights that I can see in my in front of me. And once again, it may differ from what you can see because my camera is showing you the item top down. But it's basically just mostly my overhead lamp casting some reflections, but it makes it look like china, like a porcelain china. Oh my god, it actually have like reflection all the way on the curve of this top up here. And then it's got like a big reflection on the edge of this lip here, and also this lip right here. Now the shell is turning, so I'm switching to the yellow tonish shimmer paint to paint the reflections from this curve down here. Oh, those are weird because what's being reflected is these nubs sticking out. I just got a crazy idea of doing line work with the shimmer. Okay, I'm a little bit quiet now because I'm in unfamiliar territory with this shape here. There was like no highlights here, that's for sure. You know what? I kind of like making line work with this highlight. So I think I'm gonna enhance some of the curved line work that I got here. Just a few of them, not a lot. To me, it looks subtle, but I guess when I'm slanting my sketchbook, it will appear like really in your face. But so far, for me, it looks subtle because of the light. I could actually have like this color here. What the heck? You know what? I'm gonna add some of the shimmer on this edge of the shell just because I love. Somebody needs to tell me to step away from this shimmery palette, that's for sure. Okay, step away, step away. I'm gonna overdo it. I just know myself. Okay, that was a highlight. Now I'm gonna take a darker shade of brown because now I need to I'm still using the same blue. Now I need to make like a step down darker color for my ending desk shade and also some of the shapes. So it is a little step out, but still in like the brown hue family. I think I could use some definition. Oh my god, that was too much paint up here. Yeah, this definitely has been a fun item to paint. More of that dark color. I think that I want to go close to the edge. And then I'm making it a bumpy line because the shape of this is not straight. Yeah, and then in the end, I'm just gonna water out this so I have like a glaze of it, and then I'm simply gonna glaze half of this because it is like a round object. And then a little bit of this inside here. And then I actually think this house is clean, that I'm content with the prompt now. I'm gonna let it dry up and then it's my prompt. Yoo-hoo! Oh my god, it took an hour. I guess that I will spend an hour on each prompt then. It takes so much longer than I think. I'm thinking, oh, it's just a couple of drawings. I can do that. I love it. I like the way that the highlights are working. It's a little bit too much over there. Can you see that? I went a little bit too cray cray right here. So maybe I should push it back a little bit. Let me use the monitor to check myself out. Like maybe it has a little bit too much right there. I actually think it could carry on a highlight on that brim there. So I'm coming in with shimmery paint right there. If I slant the book. It's like I'm not really picking up. There we go. Now I got a loaded brush. Yeah, it's because the page is in the spine that it doesn't show up. I kind of like it. Yeah, I like it. Maybe it could actually, I keep on. I know, I'm really bad. It could have more of a zigzag up here. Yeah, I told you guys, once I dip into that shimmer palette, I cannot stop. Now I think I should stop. Okay, I'm gonna heat set it so I can turn the page. It's a little bit damp. Not too bad. Guys, that was prompt number 2. the shell. The shell. So lucky that I got a shell. Oh, look, that's so good that I flipped and just used every second page because look how much I bled through on this page spread right here. Okay, prompt number 3 are keys. Ah, keys. So tempting to just take a key and then sgraffito it, like put a key down here, take a pencil and sgraffito it. But no, no, no. I'm not gonna. I think it would be a bit like cheating. Oh my god, I'm so tempted to glue these two pages together. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna glue them together because I don't know. I just want to. Also, something about the prompt coming in a chronologic way in my journal. So I don't have to sit and flip and flap all the pages looking for where did I draw that one and this one. Because I'm gonna take pictures and upload them to Instagram to participate in this challenge. Just supporting the challenge. So I must not mess up with the number of the prompts, then I would look like an idiot. So the prompts coming in a chronologic order in my journal can help me a ton. Yeah, it lies somewhat flat. I am pondering about the key. Was it in Da Vinci that they had that fun key where if you unlock it the wrong way, some acid was going to destroy the scroll inside? Um, and was that even called a key? Let me just try and Google it. Uh, the key in the Da Vinci Code. Somebody has Googled. Oh, it is a key. The mysterious cryptex and code. Oh my god, I'm so gonna draw that one. That would be so awesome to use as the prompt key. It called a cryptex Da Vinci Code locked puzzle box with hidden compartments inside. It reacts on the search word key, so it could be part of the prompt if I push it. I think I want to draw it. I think I want to sketch that for the prompt key because it's unusual and it was just what popped in my mind. But I definitely would need to write crypttext and Da Vinci as my journal entry. Um, Now I'm thinking if I should go ahead and glue this page. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Now we started gluing. I'm gonna heat set this back so it's not so wet. So it maybe will stretch out more when I glue the pages together. Like here, it doesn't matter that it crumbles a little bit because it just adds texture to the shell. But here, I think I want it somewhat flat. I think that I want. Okay, I'm thinking in my head, the key. Okay, if I draw this key, it's made out of a metal that's shiny. I can also have an excuse to bring out that shiny palette from Paul Rubens. like like hidden motive. Okay, what's the trick here if you want to glue it nicely on? Is it to close the journal? Like the section here? I guess there is a trick on how to get the nicest so it doesn't bulk up when I'm finished. Because it is a little bit thick paper. It's not as thin as the paper in a comp book. So maybe I should train the paper while the glue is still wet. Oh, Devin, I am participating in the Thrifty Cheap Art Challenge that runs here in September. And the whole idea is to show that you can create nice art using inexpensive art supplies, hence the word Cheap Art Challenge. And it's hosted by the Thrifty Apprentice here on YouTube. And I have to post my prompts to Instagram using the hashtag Thrifty Cheap Art 2025. And to make it not so stressful, he has chosen only to include 15 prompts so that you have 2 days to complete one prompt. So it's going to be less stressful as, for instance, in Inktober, where you have like 30 days in a row where you each day you wake up, you need to produce a finished page spread because there's just it's just a pile of drawings if you get far behind. And I was thinking I can do this challenge because it's 15 drawings, and then procrastinating Lena idiot is already late. So it's the 11th today. I'm already far behind. I haven't even started. So I started today, and my aim was to get to the prompts, five first prompts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five first prompts. And those are stone, shell, keys, balloon, and suitcase. And then the 12th, which is tomorrow, I have 2 days to paint an arch. So I'm trying really to catch up. And I thought that I had like all the time in the world. And then because it's about cheap art, I chose an inexpensive sketchbook from Amazon. And then I dig into my stash of inexpensive art supply in watercolor. So in the beginning of this video here, I went through each palette that I thought would be a good suggestion to pick for this challenge here. So I am trying to use affordable, cheap novelty palettes like this one here. Stuff that we buy and throw in our bin because it's fairly inexpensive, doesn't cost you, doesn't set you back with a lot of money. So it's so easy to grab them when you're shopping anyway, on Amazon. That's how I accumulated most of these. So it's why I also wanted to participate in this challenge, because I freaking love watercolor, and this gave me an excuse to revisit most of my novelty palettes. So immediately when I saw the whole idea about using affordable watercolors, I was thinking this is for me. Okay, I can see that my camera is slowly giving up. I got elastic bands supporting it. So I'm just gonna put in a fresh elastic band like this. Oh, I could see that it snapped. Okay, we're gonna make that cryptex and it got like metallic tones. So I am thinking, beside the shimmery palette from Paul Rubens, I think that I would like to use my Pelican palette. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the Pelican got like a very matte finish, and it's the one that I can make it look like gouache actually when I put in white gouache into these pans here. But you can really get a very nice matte finish to this one here. So maybe the shimmer will pop more when it's next to a very matte, almost like gouache color, and I'm really looking at that one. That's a nice one. So this is a palette from a German company called Pelican. I think I have seen something so super similar under the brand Grumbacher elsewhere in the world. So maybe it's a white label for the same. And then I'm using inexpensive watercolor pencils from Fantasia. You can get big sets here in Denmark. Fantasia is the brand name. And this is just a 36 pencil set from uh, from that company. Okay, I'm gonna sketch and then I'm gonna spread it out on the spread here. I don't know what's up with me, but I like to work on double spreads. The journal is so small, and it's a cylinder round shape. So what I would do is that I would keep it somewhat slanted. So I'm just gonna free sketch an oval, and then I'm gonna audition where I want that. It's not a fat barrel, so it's sort of a slim, and then it ends in an oval shape over here. This needs to be erased out, so I'm thinking I will do that immediately with water. That's the fun thing about sketching with watercolor pencils. You can, instead of an eraser, sometimes colored pencils are a little bit difficult to erase, but watercolor pencils can just be erased with water. So we got like that end shape there. Okay, that's the oval shape, the beginning of it. Okay, if I concentrate on this end here, it's got like an extra ring. What I remember from the movie is that if you lock in the wrong words in this key, it will release a liquid that will destroy the document roll that you placed inside of it. So it's a way to keep your secret. And then it looks like, okay, maybe I should wait with that ending because it got some knickknacks here and there. Okay, and this up here, oh, this is arrows to show which line of words that you are trying to plot in. So on this side here, there will be an arrow too. So let me get that edge on. It's like here, and it's actually like a piece of brass. I'm trying I'm trying to think. It looks like brass. So that's the the cryptid line. And then it has like more rings here. And then it ends in some sort of pyramid shaped, flat pyramid shaped triangle up here in the top. And I think that may be where you insert your scroll. Yeah, so a loose sketch. I would say that it's something like that. There's something off with my ending of it. Maybe it actually have that. Maybe that's what I can see peeking out. I'm just gonna make that, like the peak of that pyramid, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. It has 6 rows of letters, so I'm going to divide this into half, and then 1/3 each, and that should give me 6 rows where there is maybe the whole alphabet on one row. So if you multiply, we have like 28 letters in our alphabet here in Denmark. I don't know how many the letters this cryptex is based on, but if it was based on a Danish alphabet, the likeliness for hitting the right code random is 28 times 28 times 28 times 28 28 28. So can you suddenly see how there is millions, if not billions, of possibilities to form a letter here? So I think maybe that's what makes it so strong to be used as a coded key. You are not likely to just random plot in the right code. And the possibility to break the code systematically, like going from A B A C A, is such a huge task that you're probably not gonna start doing that unless it gives like a click sound when you set it on the right first letter. Then you can spend the weekend on that method, but I don't think so. I think it's soundless, so only when the right letter is plotted in you can pull these spikes apart and reveal the content inside. And this is just me thinking. Okay, and these are straight. Okay, this is actually perfect for using a ruler, but I'm gonna freehand sketch this. I already have wrong spacement between here and here. I just eyeballed it. So it's already wonky, but it's fine with me. I just think it's a fun thing to use as a prompt for key. Okay, and then we got like letters. I'm gonna write the letters last. First, I'm gonna color it in. I can see that I got some issues with the line work here. Okay, now for the coloring. What would be smart to do? I think I'm gonna use a porcelain palette. I got so much residue on this lid up here, and I don't want to sit and clean it off. So I'm just gonna give myself a triad of colors for this one here. Gonna smack down some of this umber that's like really likable, and then some ochre, and then some black. So I think I'm gonna work with a triad of ochre, umber, and black, and then top coat it with shimmer paint to get the shiny effect. And once again, this has nothing to do with, oh, I'm just using limited color palette. No, it's just what is easy now. What I think it is easy. And then I think I will mist it first. And then just come in with a glaze to begin with. That was a little bit bumpy. Yeah, it is so annoying to have that thing in the middle here, but oh well. And then we have like a dark up here. My cat is snoring. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It probably won't, because some of the white noise in the room is getting removed by the camera while I'm live streaming. But if you can hear some random strange noise, it's my cat. And then I want the umber color to be here. And then the black. I think I want to work with like a hard edge up here and then a soft edge down here. So I may blur out this line that I'm working on right now later on. But basically, this is the bottom of the scroll of the key. Let me get some more black, because these ends here looks like they are black. Yeah, these are definitely dark. And then we have a mixture of different colors on the end barrel here. So I think I'll just start glazing it all in ochre. You cannot like go wrong with ochre. For this one, I feel. And once that's glazed off, I want to lift off. Oh my god, can I not lift? Okay, I'm gonna scrub off then a massive highlight like this. OMG, it will not lift either. Okay, usually when I work on other paper, I would be able to lift off. I'm not able to lift. Okay. I'm gonna truck on anyway. Maybe I can come in with a different kind of highlight. Maybe if I'm smart. I can do it with the colors of my brush instead. So I would need like an end color here. I'm trying to paint in the highlight in reverse now. And then a little bit of black in the pointed tip. And in the shading here. Okay, as good as it gets for the highlight. Okay, then it got a lot of section that's for work with a small brush. So I'm just gonna take a tiny liner, not a liner, a tiny brush actually, super small, and then get all the line work in. First of all, we have line work here. This is getting annoying with the bend of the book. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. That was not a nice line work. But oh well. It's just a drawing. And then we have line work that's like dividing each letter in the alphabet. So I'm just gonna mix some umber into my black mix down here so I avoid getting black. So maybe I can get, okay, as I'm looking at the tip of these arrows here, they should actually be, there should be like a word that's formed right there in that line. So I think I'm gonna deviate from my original sketch lines and then see if I can do a better job with this line work here. Yeah, job for a ruler, job for a ruler. But I also like the sketchy look. I think if I grab the ruler, it could very quickly look stiff. Like there's so many elements. So keeping it sketchy might be my advantage because then I can maybe finish it a little bit loose, you know. But all of these small tabs here have a letter. And I think I'm gonna write that letter with a colored pencil in the end. Yeah, I like that. And then I think I should write those letters now and then come on top of it with the shimmer. But first, maybe I should work on the background a little bit. So what color to use for the background? Uh, so tempted to just give it a yellow corner. You know, sometimes when you have illustrations like these, you just have a very bright background color, but just sometimes in the corner. So let me see if I can get that illusion. And then stretch it out like this. You see what I mean? Like you get like this splotchy corner right here. I'm looking at the monitor to see how far should I pull up this yellow. And maybe I should take it to the edge actually. And then we need some sort of a desk that it's lying on. Ah. I am pondering whether that should be brown. So let me try and drag in a brownish color. I want a seamless transition from the background to this desk color because I don't want to sit and fuss with a table line work. I just want this item to sort of have some shading and then not. You know, it should just it shouldn't just hover in the air. But I don't want to draw in a desk or, you know, lose myself in that line work. Because I think we have too many lines to begin with from this object here. So adding more line work from a table will just be a little bit too much. We're gonna have like a casted shade from that yellow, giving us this this shadow here. I'm gonna make it a little bit stronger where it's near the object. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. I think I'm gonna use the heat gun so it's completely dry. Because I'm gonna use color pencil, so my hand needs to rest there, and I also want the page to be hard enough to not poke through the paper with the pencil. I think it's dry enough. Okay, I'm gonna use the dark brown to write the letters. I'm gonna not use Danish A, Ö, O letters. It's just too weird. But I want to follow like an alphabetic order, so looks like I need to switch pencil when I come down to the letters here. I'm just gonna sharpen. It's still so soft. More heat gun right there. I think I need to sharpen my pencil. Yeah. Oh my god, that was a hefty tip. Did I sharpen it too much? Maybe because the paper is still so soft, you know? Maybe I sharpened it too much. I'm just gonna go lightly. What I'm doing is the shading on the letters. So first I go in with the dark brown and then double shade with the black because I feel that gives me a more like a more dimensional look. And as long as I just follow the alphabet and just start randomly somewhere, I should be okay. So, oh, I'm forgetting that I have to speak. I need to speak. I'm sorry that this is getting so tedious to watch. I've been going on for 2.5 hours now, so now I'm getting that relaxed brain where I don't pay attention to that on live streaming. Okay, let's start just a random place in the alphabet. Oh my god, if I was smart, I could have wrote cryptex. C-R-U-P-T-E. Okay, no, no, it's in 7 letters. I thought I have like 6 rows here, so I thought I could have written a word, a readable word, so it would make sense that you are turning these sections to create a letter, like a word. But I guess I was not that smart. Ooh, I like the letter Q. Looks cool. More Q's on some of the rows. Makes it look cute. Ooh. Ah, did I get that? Oh no. Now we are. I said that I didn't want to use the Danish alphabet, but I didn't think, because now the Danish alphabet is venturing into different letters than other people have. Got A, Ö, O here. That kind of annoyed me. Let me see how if there is. I'm just googling in what alphabet. If it is, it's like Italian. It's no. I'm gonna make this an X. I actually did a mistake. We have them. Oh my god, I can't even do the alphabet. That's the Latin, but we don't have the AUO in Latin. Okay, is it important to get it in the cryptex to YZ? It actually ends. Okay, the alphabet that they use for this tool here ends with WXYZ, and then ours continue with AUO. That is confusing. I'm gonna try and keep it to the the country that made this key here, because I don't think that it's made in Scandinavia. So why mix in Scandinavian alphabet? And I can just end it with a Z here, and then it will still be true to the country that created this item here. So it's like the Latin alphabet here. Does it matter? I don't know. I don't think so. It's just a drawing. Okay. Um. Now we got in the letters. I think I would love to put in the shimmer parts now. So let me see if I can just clean up this messy palette here. I'm thinking bronze or copperish color to make the shine, and I cannot wait to add it on. It's gonna be like the icing on the cake. Love, love, love the shimmer. So back to the Paul Rubin, best friend. Well, maybe I can put it like this. And like before, I'm just gonna drop in a drop of water in the pans that I think I want to activate. Oh, this one is also maybe a gold one also. Yeah, I'm a sucker for gold. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit a little bit. I kind of like what I see, and I kind of know that I need to write down the name of it, otherwise I will completely forget it. It's a cryptex key, and it is from Da Vinci. Maybe I only need those words to express my prompt. Okay, let's add in first the gold. Oh, a thick layer, please. I like it when it's super creamy. And then I'm gonna give myself like a gold edge here. And then I think I'm just gonna glaze in a gilded layer up here. And then get a golden end to this edge here. And this tip. Maybe a little bit here. I could come in. I actually think that I should come in with some sort of white highlights. I'm just going to give myself a very faint shimmery edge there. Okay, and then I'll take this, and put it here. Oh my god, I'm covering up all the letters. And then a wet brush to sort of smear it out a little bit. It still looks shiny to me. And then down here we could have like an end of this and this shimmer. And then we have like these dark areas. We could give them a tiny coat. Yeah, I completely lost definition on some of the pointy tips, but maybe we can fix that. Okay, I think I'm gonna heat set this and then see if I can come on top of it with some sort of a white highlight. Okay, let me try and get back some of the highlights. I got this pastel pen. Yeah, I like this. I'm not sure that I want to do so much on the individual letters down here. Maybe just a little bit here and there. I think I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I think I like what I see. We got like something in shimmer. So I like the shininess of it. So I'm not in doubt that this is produced out of a metal. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop right there. And then I continue. Just the last highlights. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. I like this, and I like how it's like a glittery and shimmery. That was a nice prompt for the key. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream now. I've been on almost 3 hours. That was a long sitting. So off camera, I'm gonna make the prompt balloon and suitcase, and then I'm gonna post it to Instagram. I cannot wait to start posting. Oh, look, I have a little bit of contamination there. It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. This sketchbook is actually holding up very well when you think about how much wet water I have abused it with in the binding right here. So, but yeah, thank you for watching along. I wish you a nice day. And then I'm gonna come back and show you me working on these prompts here so I can spread the words about the channel name of the Thrifty Apprentice and also the message about him hosting a Thrifty Cheap Art Challenge here in September. So I put the info down in my description below this video here in case you want to participate too. I think it's going to be fun, and I do love that it's only a prompt every second day, so it's not as stressful as an Inktober daily challenge. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you now, and bye bye.